Evening, Let's Talk Sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Puckett. Got a full house here tonight. Got John, got Scott, got Jim. Man, how about that, huh? And
Yo,
I'm in the
we're
same
going
time.
four square. We're going a little four square, boys.
Yeah,
Little
you
four
can't even see our
box.
background.
Got four
Can't even
box
see the
here.
background.
That's
Now,
it.
now just an athlete and one other person. We got a starting five for the NBA, right?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Starting five. I think we can bring you guys to the courts here in Jersey. Ed, I'm back from Vermont. Got out of the floods. I'm out of the floods, so I made it home. I made it home.
Man.
We got.
bad.
I mean, it's how crazy is it though? Think about it. Everything was supposed to wind down. It's supposed to be easy. It's going to be a nice, relaxing. I was supposed to go to music, listen to the music on Sunday night, but no. Detroit and Ottawa got to do business on one of my nights off.
Yeah, I know. Well, how about that, huh?
Wow.
I guess. Do we? I mean, do we want to start there? I mean, we can start there. What do you think? I mean,
it was good. Great. I think Detroit did well. I think they did well.
Yeah.
They paid them properly. It's just outstanding. It's funny how Ottawa, Detroit, and Buffalo are going to be battling, and Ottawa just sent some stuff over to Detroit there. So DeBrincat.
Yeah. I mean, he's a sniper. There's no doubt about that. And geez, I mean, I tell you what, Detroit to me is, I think we lost Scott there.
Did we lose Scott?
Yeah, looks like it.
He was having some phone issues, I know.
Yeah. But I mean, geez, Detroit, I think is up there. He's back. We got him back. But yeah, I mean, what are you guys thinking? I mean, that was,
Go ahead, Jim.
I mean, look, this was on the docket for a few weeks now. Obviously, at the draft, listening to the guys talk about it. They were trying to exchange, what was going on. But again, the salary cap played a big role in, when this trade was going to take place, what the extension was going to look like, what pieces were coming back. Look, I said it last time I was on. I've said it with John on his show. I've said it in multiple places. The return is never going to be what you think it's going to be. Let's be honest. Like, Kubalik, the other guy, I didn't even know who he was. I have no idea who this guy is.
He's never topped 46 points. He's never topped 46 points,
So DeBrincat, look, personally, again, I don't want to hear the narrative about guys don't want to play in Canada, this, that, and you got to pay a cold weather tax. If you're going to play in Canada, you're going to pay that cold weather tax. You're going to get a little bit extra money, and that's what Korpisalo got.
Yep.
With DeBrincat, if they had tried to make it work a year, but I don't think it was going to work. He wanted out. He wants to go to Detroit. That's where he wants to go. There were no other teams involved, despite what everybody wants to say. The Islanders giving up Pajot and Wallstrom. He's not going to the Islanders. He was going to Detroit, and that's where he was going. And it's a great play by Detroit. Again, we're going to see, because three teams are going to be battling in this Atlantic Division. All of them are, and it's going to be a fun show. And I'm glad it's done. I'm glad I got one of them right. Just took a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying this a while. Detroit, man, they're an up and coming team. People will be like, oh, no, I'm telling you, this team they're making moves, man. And
go ahead.
I think he's going to be. Well, no, I was just going to say, I think he's going to be a fixture in their top six for years to come. I really do.
I'm just, and I know I've asked this of Jim a million times. He's probably going to knock me out if I ask it again. But DeBrincat, man, he's 23 or what is he, 24, 23? What is your problem in Ottawa? Like, why did you have to get out of town? Like, you couldn't. It just seems to me you haven't even been around long enough. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. I mean, Go ahead, Scott. What do you got?
I think he's having transmission issues.
Can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't
hear you, Scott.
You might have to close them out.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, you can't hear
now we can hear you. Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on. I didn't move. I didn't do anything. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought for a second I got changed to a podcast. Being that there's a lot of movement going on in the hockey world. So, yeah, who do you guys think? Which teams were losers so far? In this offseason, what has gone down?
I couldn't.
I
couldn't get
I
it.
couldn't make out what you said there, Scott.
Okay, I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna go.
All right. Take it easy, Scott.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what he was. I couldn't hear what
Yeah.
he was saying.
No,
I couldn't either.
It
Yeah,
was pixelate.
he's having some issues with his connection
Internet.
there. So
But
Yeah,
I was gonna say
okay.
what I was gonna say is this. Look with the Brinket. Look, I don't know what his issue was with Ottawa. I don't know what problem he had. With that area. He had a good season. Again, if you look at it, right? If you look at what happened last year, players changing teams. Matthew Tkachuk's the only guy that did back-to-back 100-point seasons.
Right.
Like, it takes transition time. Josh Norris being hurt didn't help. Like, let's be honest. If Norris is not hurt and he's playing with Giroux and Norris, maybe his numbers are higher.
Yeah.
The contract's great from Steve Yzerman. 4 years. It's great.
Yeah.
And I think Detroit's going to be fine. Again, they needed a sniper.
31.5.
Yeah, I mean, look, they needed a goal scorer. They get a goal scorer, and there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you look at last year, 27 goals, 39 assists, and he played 82 games too. He's your best ability is availability, right, boys? I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just my thing is I'm being like the National Enquirer, I guess. I'm just curious. I can't wait to hear why he forced himself out of Ottawa in that. That's something like a 28-year-old would do. It just seemed odd to me. Like when it came up, to tell you the truth, I was shocked. I'm like, what is this? What's going on here? You're forcing your way out. I want to know. I'm sure we will eventually. You'll find out, Jim.
Eventually, like I've heard tidbits as I texted you off the air about things of personal matters have come up, similar to what we saw with Jacob Trouba, and I'll leave it at that. But there have been things that again, you have to pay a cold weather tax. Some guys want to pay that price, some guys don't. And I will say this: look. Go back to the Calgary situation. I've been diving more into this, right? Because I hear this narrative: Americans don't want to play in Canada. There's 4 guys that didn't want to play in Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk. If I'm in their situations and have to go through a pandemic in Canada, hard to travel back and forth. Yeah. I think I might want to go live in the States.
Right.
After what happened. It takes a toll on you.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad up there, and my brother-in-law lives in Montreal. I know, he needs a truck driver, and so it was even worse. But yeah, no, I mean, I tell you what though, like I said, 4 years, 31.5 million. I mean, they I don't think they overpaid. I think they right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
To me, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yzerman's good at that stuff, man. Yzerman is
look what he did. Look what he did down in Tampa with all those guys before he left.
Right.
Yeah. Stamkos, the Kucherovs, all those guys. He got him where he wanted them.
Yeah. Like Kid Rock says, in it to win it, like Yzerman.
Dude, look, Detroit's gonna be a good team. Yeah. They're going to be a good team. Yeah, Ottawa's going to take another step. Buffalo's going to take another. Look, I'm very shocked, but I get it. Understanding Kevin Adams' logic, if you believe what you have on your roster is better than what's out there in the free agent market, fine, roll with it. I personally am at the philosophy of having a veteran guy there to guide your young players along is a good thing. And again, they improved their defense. I'm still, 10 games for Devin Lee, or however many games he played, looks great. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen looks great. Do it when it matters. You
Mm-hmm.
can't make the playoffs in the first month, but you sure can get yourself in a position where you won't make the playoffs in the first month. And
Right.
Ottawa, Detroit, and Buffalo need good starts, especially the Senators, because the last 2 years, that's where they've lost.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it. That's the best thing to say. You can get yourself knocked out in October easily. I'll tell you, Levi, the thing with me, and I agree with you, Jim, I just can't, I'd be a little concerned. You're putting a lot on him, a lot on the line here. If he gets shelled, if there's an issue, he's got to go down to the AHL, something happens, you're just, I mean, maybe we're overthinking it, but sometimes, you're messing with someone's psyche. It doesn't happen often, but maybe they know.
Go back. I say this. Go back to when Connor Hellebuck was a rookie.
Yes.
They had 2 young guys there. Didn't go well in Winnipeg. The following year, they bring in Steve Mason. Then Hellebuck just takes off. Then he's the man. But they had brought in a veteran. And then they got rid of Mason, and it didn't matter. But sometimes that combo, it works. Look, I know you got Comrie there. They brought in. Look, Buffalo's in a good spot. Again, I think that's an area they probably should have improved in. But again, when people were they really interested in Tristan Jarry? Probably no. Were they looking at Corpusalo? Possibly. Probably didn't want to go 5 years. Talbot, Halak's still out there. I mean, that's the guy for me. That's the guy for me. If I'm Buffalo, that's the guy I take a run at, a short deal, 1 year, like league minimum deal, just to have him there. That way, if you don't feel Levi's ready coming out of preseason, you can send him down. You have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Halak to start, and I think that's a solid combination.
Well, I mean, Devin Levi is one of the best goaltender prospects in the league. I mean, I would say, but I don't know that he's ready to take that full-time, starting job and, this season, 23-24. And I think you get Hellebuck, that, it could allow them to kind of ease him into that role eventually,
I really think that, though, this team, the Sabres got to get in. I mean, Darlene, this is like his 8th year already. I don't even know what year. He's getting up. These guys, I mean, me and Jim have we talked about this before. You become a star in the playoffs, so you got to get in. If you don't get in, eventually guys want to leave, and I don't blame them. So
it's their 12th consecutive year missing the playoffs. So
they haven't made the playoffs since Drury and Briere and all those guys were there.
Yeah, and Drury's now the GM for the Rangers. So it's been a while. Yeah,
it's definitely been a while.
But I mean, but I would say last year, I mean, they were an exciting team. I mean, they had a young roster, and I think they've got talent. I mean,
I think? I think eventually they're going to end up. I unfortunately have to see them a lot. So when I see them, I realize that they're exciting, but they don't play 200 feet, some of their forwards. I mean, Alex Tuch does, and I don't think Tage Thompson does much, but but he's a big guy, so it's kind of difficult, I think eventually they're going to realize that we got to, that also has to change as well. And I thought they'd bring in a few more veterans myself, even as forwards. But, Kevin Adams, I give him credit because at first I thought they were going on the cheap again. Here's your GM, here's your guy. It's going to be Kevin Adams. And I think he's done very well, though, too, to give him credit. They're lined up pretty damn good if they get some breaks there in the playoffs last year even.
Yeah, they did.
Thompson. Yeah. No, I like Tage Thompson. I like Darlene. I like Power. I like Samuelson. They were the third highest scoring team in the league last year. And so I don't know. I mean, but
let me ask you something, you guys. Let me ask both of you something, okay? Real quick. I'm sorry I stepped on you there. I got to ask this question though, because it's driving me nuts. Both of you tell me what's going to happen with Karlsson.
Well, that was a topic.
Yeah. For me, the Penguins would have to have a third team involved in that. Penguins are, I think, 2.3 over the cap right now. I think that I think right now the Hurricanes need to move fast on him. But I don't know. Have you guys heard some kind of rumor that there's a couple guys on the Canes that he doesn't like? Have you guys heard that?
Well, okay, so I haven't heard that, but I will say this: as much as I think he's a great fit for Carolina, and I'm starting to come on that side again. When Burns was in San Jose, the power play time, this dude just put up 100 points, no Brent Burns. Yeah. What's going to happen when he's in Carolina? He could propel them, no doubt. We've seen him. He took an Ottawa Senators team that had no business going to conference final and propelled them. I mean, great. Craig Anderson played out of his mind. Bobby Ryan, like Pajot, like all those guys. But it was Erik Karlsson that everybody was talking about, because if the Ottawa Senators had won the Cup in 2017, it was going to be Erik Karlsson that was going to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. That's who everybody was talking. And he became that player. The issue is, for me, is if they get Karlsson, what happens to that D'Angelo trade that's supposed to happen that has yet to happen?
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
So if Karlsson's going to the Hurricanes, fine. Where's D'Angelo going? Because he's not playing in Philly. And if all three guys are there, where's the power play time for everybody? Like, who's getting power play one time?
Right. And we talked last week, he's the ultimate point man. Like my Penguins. I think he would make the power play, a whole hell of a lot better. Well, he's a lefty, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but they were saying he's got whoever gets him, he's gonna have an 11.5 million cap hit.
You got it. Well, it's not gonna be 11.5.
It's not gonna be the whole. Yeah, it'll be whatever San Jose ends up. What are they projected to eat? I don't even know.
Well, they only want to eat 25%, which is gonna have to be more or you're getting a third team involved. And to me, you got to get a third team involved. That's the biggest thing, is who's going to be the third team. And but again, San Jose doesn't have to do it now. It was like the Brinket. I think the Senators started to feel like they needed to do it now, and they did it. Fine, great. San Jose doesn't have to do it now. You don't even have to do it at the beginning of the year. You can wait to the deadline or next summer when you only have 2 years left at this deal.
That's true.
And I think that's kind of the card that San Jose's playing right now. They're like, yeah, you can have, all these reports of him going to the Pen. It's narrowed down to 2 teams, the Canes and the Pens. And they might just be like, you know what? We're just going to wait. We don't have to do this right now. There's,
No.
But, Carolina, what do they got? Like 3.4 or 3.5 million cap space. The Penguins got 2.3. I mean, they would have to both teams would have to have a third team.
Well,
right?
Brett Pesce would go back if Karlsson's going to Carolina, Brett Pesce's going to San Jose. And I haven't been told that. It's just I'm looking at who's available on this roster, and Brett Pesce's going to need a new contract soon, so he's probably going to be the guy that has to be shipped out. Yeah. If Karlsson goes. Now, if you look at the Pittsburgh, okay, who are we going to move out? Well, we got to move out some money. Well, okay, Granlund's doesn't have a no trade clause attached to him. He's a perfect prime candidate, $5 million, perfect. Rickard Rakell, there's another one. Go buy. That's $10 million off your books. Yeah. Look, I don't want to get on a Pittsburgh rant like we did last week, but listening to the Pittsburgh media and listening to these guys. I was listening to Dennis Bernstein on Sirius XM NHL radio the other day. Him and I are on the same page when it comes to Kyle Dubas. I am still not impressed what he did. Granted, he was dealt a crappy hand in Pittsburgh. Yeah. But still, the goaltending, $5 million for 5 years for Tristan Jarry.
Way too long.
Too many years. You outbid yourself for a guy nobody wanted. And for months, we were told he was not coming back.
Yeah. I know, and that's the thing. I listen to Pittsburgh media all the time, even up in Wisconsin, and they were saying that. I mean, you heard that there's no way this guy's coming back. And what's he do? Not only does he bring him back, but he brings him back for 5 years. Are you kidding me? With all the injury issues this guy's had with his hip, like I said, he has like half of his hip, has been shaved off, and
Yeah.
and I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but 2021, that Islander series. I mean, he had a lot of there was a lot
There
of
were there were a
responsibility.
lot of bad goals. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny. So I got this is a quick story. So I'm over at friend's house, right? And this person knows nothing about hockey, right? This person knows nothing about hockey. And they goes to me, "That was a bad goal." I'm like, "Yeah, it was a bad goal. You were very right. That was a bad goal." We're out. We went out. We were hanging out like the bars and stuff. We're watching, and I'm like watching a game and stuff. And my friend goes to me, "Dude, this cat is just. Why are the Islanders scoring so many goals on this guy?" Because I'm like, the dude's not good, man. The dude is not.
Terrible.
Look, I will give him this. The Herculean effort he put in Game 7 against the Rangers last year, unbelievable.
Yeah. And he was hurt. Yeah.
He was hurt.
Right.
But again, defensively, the Penguins, you cannot lose that series up 3-1, blowing multiple goal leads. I know everybody wants to point the goaltending. It wasn't just Jari. It was the team in front of him. And I don't want to hear about Sid being hurt and all this stuff.
Yeah.
They were up when he was hurt and couldn't close the deal.
And couldn't close exactly. No, I talked about that ad nauseum in my weekly Pittsburgh sports. Yeah.
And I just to throw some numbers at you while I find them. I was looking at it the other day, just for fun. So, according to Cap Friendly's depth charts, based on the current projected lineups, these are the teams that have the oldest average ages. The Penguins are number 1, 31.1.
Yeah.
I think ownership.
Sorry to go on the Penguin rant.
But ownership there's bad too. I mean, they're not good. I mean, they didn't allow Hextall to do what he had to do, or Brian Burke. I mean, and obviously Dubas isn't going to do it. So I mean, it's time. It was time, but
and like I said, when you had Lemieux and that ownership group with Burkle and all that, I mean, there was they cared. It seemed like they were engaged with things, and this Fenway Sports Group just is like, I mean, they're just completely hands off, and they're just like, hey, like.
No, they were hands on to make sure Letang and Malkin stayed.
With that, but
let me add. I think that was the biggest thing because I think they needed to move. One of them guys had to go, and then it makes me wonder this, and this would be your Penguins fan. You hear it all. Let me know. Should they really be in the Karlsson? I just wonder if they should really be involved in this. Because at this point, they need to be breaking it down. I would figure, not dragging another 40-something, whatever he is.
Well, I agree, but here's the bigger question: what should Erik Karlsson be wanting to? Should he want to go to the Penguins? I don't. Who's got a better chance of where does he have a better chance of winning a cup? Not with the Penguins. He has a better chance of winning a cup with the Canes.
Or Ottawa. He hasn't closed the door on reuniting in Ottawa. He has said he would go back to the Senators. He said he would go back to Ottawa. So again, what are the Senators going to give up? Does he fit the mold? I think he's a great fit for this young Sens team, but they kind of have that player already in Chychrun. So again, where does everybody fit? I think you would be a great fit for this young team. To be honest, being there when they made those runs, I think he's an actually good fit for that Sens, but I don't think it's going to ever happen. It'd be great to come full circle again. And I think a lot of the reason a lot of the players left was Melnick and all that stuff. But I think with the solid ownership there, and I think another big reason why DeBrincat wanted to go is because that ownership situation just dragged on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. So I think that was a big thing. So, all right.
But John, that's a good question. I mean, but like I said, I think he has a better chance of winning with the Canes than he does with my Penguins. I hate to say that, but it's the truth, But I don't know. So,
I don't know.
What do you moving on to? What do you guys think about Tarasenko? Where's what's going to happen with him? Is he going to just stay in New York? I mean, Chris Drury brought this, did this deal back. I mean, he started the season last year as a Blues. 31 years old. He makes the deal at the trade deadline, sending him to New York with Patrick Kane. I think that was kind of like Chris Drury thought that would kind of move the needle for the Rangers. But I don't know. I mean, what are you guys thinking? We're hearing Carolina is in that mix again.
They're getting it all this year. They're like the Leafs. Holy cow! They're going to get everybody.
Yeah.
He definitely wants to stay in the New York area for sure.
Well, that's what I heard.
Like, he wants to be in that area. Shesterkin's on the team. Obviously, obviously Brighton Beach, big Brooklyn area. He's got a big Russian community. So that'd be good for him. I mean, he's looked at Ottawa's in the mix, Florida's in the mix, Carolina's in the mix, Devils in the mix. I think those are the teams that are in the mix. I could see him taking a cheap deal to stay in New York. I think the thing with Chris Drury last year was the Tarasenko trade before the deadline I had no problem with. It was a Kane trade I had a problem with because they really took a step backwards because that team was really firing on all cylinders even before the Tarasenko trade. They were really firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. But apparently he's gotten offers in the $5.5 to $6 million range, and he's rejected them. So, and he even said he preferred to simply, remain with the Rangers. If the salary cap, isn't a disqualifying factor, if you will. But Rangers, I think they have about $6 million in remaining wiggle room, basically. So
yeah, they got some cap space, a little bit, not much though.
Yeah, but
you can go over 10%, right, in the summer? Isn't that the way?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I heard that as well, Jim, that he wants to stay in New York, and
what's he want? He wants 7? I mean, I don't think anyone's going to give him 7.
Look, I think before he switched agents, I think he was going to take $1 million offer in New York and stay for 1 year. I think that was on the table, but I don't think his prior agent wanted him to sign it. Obviously, commissions and all that stuff. But still, I think that's what he would have taken.
Jeez.
Yeah, what I think the change in his agents is buying Drury some time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so but I don't know. So I also, what about the Ottawa? You think Ottawa would be?
I mean, I think that's a good fit for him. Again,
Sure.
At what price tag though? I mean, he just moved out to Brinket. He may only sign a 1-year deal. You'd be lucky to get him to sign a 2-year deal there. But with that team, and you say Norris again, if Norris is healthy, if this guy's healthy, you playing alongside Giroux. Hey, I think Tarasenko is still a very good threat, and he'll make that power play a lot better.
Definitely. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, and I heard the Sharks too. Did you mention the Sharks, Jim?
I don't know if Tarasenko is going to go to a non-contender. Like, if he goes to a non-contender, it's gonna be John Klingberg all over again. He's gonna go, and then he's gonna be traded at the deadline.
Right. Well, Sharks they're more closer to the bottom, the league's bottom, than the top. That's for sure.
Right. I think that would be the thing. He goes to a non-contender, and then gets flipped.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So, kind of moving on here, Keam Neely, kind of moving on to this whole thing with, well, you know what? Let's instead of moving on to the Brewers to Bergeron and Krejci, let's move on to the Austin Matthews and Nylander. I know we kind of talked that last week, but has there been anything that you really have seen moving in that, or what do you guys? I haven't seen anything.
I heard a new one. So this is the one I'm hearing. Courtesy of DB. I think Matthews doesn't sign unless Nylander goes first.
Yeah.
And what are we thinking?
I made my prediction already. I have Matthews 3 years, 12.8 million, and I think you're gonna get Nylander at 6 years, 8.88, and go from there.
Well-
Everyone takes a little cut. 3 years come down the pike, and then Matthews can cash in. He'll cash in big time. The thing goes up. He looks like a hero. He certainly takes less than he should get at 12.8. Helps the Leafs a ton, and you go from there.
Then he cashes next time.
Yep, next time, whether it's in Toronto or somewhere else.
I mean, Matthews, his deal's not gonna exceed 5 years, right?
No, I
No.
can't see it. No.
No, the time to get 8 years was the next contract.
Thanks, Dubas.
Right. Yeah, yeah. But
and he didn't do it, and the first time around, and he didn't do it. And it took 5 years. Look, Nylander's a tricky situation. He held out last time. There's no reason he can't held out last time. And I said this on another show I did. Nylander, you can compare guys around the league. In Nylander's situation, he's going to go right to Mitch Marner and be like, you paid this dude $10 million or 11, whatever he paid him. I want 10. No, they paid him 11. He got 11. I want my 10. That's the comparable because he scores more goals than Marner. Right.
Yeah. The only thing that gets me on that, and you know this, Marner does a lot more, obviously.
Marner plays penalty kill, all that stuff. Yeah.
100 point. I mean, the thing with me is Nylander, the trade keeps coming back around with Carolina, the Brent Pesce and Natchez deal. It's been said for 2 years now. I've heard Nylander. Every time Nylander's name comes up, Brett Pesce comes up and Natchez comes up. And it makes sense. Obviously, the money matches. Everybody's happy. I mean, I would do that if I was the Leafs and Trey Living in a second. I got to tell you, and I'm just listening, and I listen to everything, and I just don't believe he's coming back. I don't see how they cannot pay him $10 million a year. And I think Tree Living knows that. It's a good thing Dubas isn't here.
I heard they're right. I heard that the Leafs are at 8.5. They're around that mark right now with and not budging. So
and they can't. I think they're at the point where now tough decisions got to be made, and this would be an easy one to make. You just can't do it.
Right.
You can't be. You're not going to win if you keep doing this.
Look, Vegas is the only team in recent memory that had one guy over $10 million and it won a Stanley Cup.
Right.
You can't have top guys exceed $10 million and expect to win. It's not happening.
Yeah. You just can't fill it in, man.
And the Leafs defense needs work. The Leafs goaltending needs work. Despite what we saw, despite what we've seen, it still needs work.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Are they going to buy out Matt Murray? What's the deal with that?
Well, the window's there because they're going to arbitration with Samsonov. So there's the window is there. They get the second buyout window.
Yeah. I think they'll be trying. I'd assume they're trying to move him if there's any way in hell they can without doing it. But I mean, they got what I think. What Samsonov does them a favor, obviously, and he gives them the extra time and they just buy him out. I do think there's another defenseman to come with the way Tree Living is compared to how Dubas was. There's going to be another defenseman. We've all seen that Morgan Riley plays well with guys like Shen or Ron Hainsey or whoever. So I think that I don't know if Matt Dumba's a possibility. I don't even know. He probably not. But I know there's no way they're going into the season, I don't believe, with the 6 that they're showing. Because I don't know about Connor Timmins.
Look, I'll go back to it. I'm not sure I'm making that Gustafsson trade. Because there's your terrible. 6. Because who would have been in that lineup right now? Sandin.
Right. Yeah, that was
and Sandin. And Sandin was ready to take the next step.
Well, that's why I would have definitely chosen him over Liljegren. I don't know what Dubas was thinking. That was an oddest trade of the entire. He made a ton of them. That made no sense.
What I would have really done is sent Justin Hall to Washington to get Gustafsson.
Yes, he loved Justin Hall. I'm surprised he's not in Pittsburgh. I'm shocked.
I'm really shocked.
Because he really likes him a lot. They just would. You know what? Maybe it's Sheldon Keefe. They just played him the hell out of. I don't know. No, you're right though. That's why trading Nylander gets you a defenseman. It just does, and they need one. So it all just
Yeah.
makes too much sense. But,
We'll
the hard
see.
choices, man. Yeah.
Got to make them. Got to make them.
All right, so what are we thinking? Bergeron, Krejci, they're going to be back in Boston next season. You heard Cam Neely basically said we're pretty much figuring on them not being here, but until we hear otherwise, that's pretty much what we're going on. And they're pretty much.
I don't expect them to be back. In fact,
Really?
I agree with the writers up there. Bergeron needs to make a decision now. Like, you have to let the club know now. Like,
Well,
you can't let. But I understand the respect and all this stuff, but there's a business side to this, and they can't let this linger into August. Like, you have to be able to. Like, because if they want to make a trade for Mark Scheifele or they want to make a trade for another center, the time to do it's now.
Well, Jim, at the end of the season last year, they interviewed Bergeron. You probably saw that interview where he said he planned to let Neely and Don Sweeney know his plans before July 1st, and he didn't do it. And it's like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on here? Are you, I don't know. I'm kind of with you on that. I don't think either of them are coming back.
I just think the way things ended, that game, the way they went off, I know we did the same thing last year, but this had a different feel to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It had a different, and it should be with the way that, that was a hell of a, who would have thought that would have happened?
That was a great collapse.
It was a monumental collapse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, make no mistake about it. It was a monumental collapse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say, what would you think? I'd say Krejci may come back more so than Bergeron. But I don't know. I still kind of think both of them are pretty much gone at this point.
Are they 40 now? Or are they 38, 39? Is that where we're at with those guys?
Bergeron's 38. Krejci, I'm not sure.
He's close. He's got to be in the same.
He's close too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like, yeah.
I mean, they've done a lot of winning, so you would think this might be. It just makes sense that they're done, but I can't tell. The way they went off the ice, though, and the crying and everything else, it just makes me feel like it's like Jim and you've said, it's got to be done. It feels
like it's time, right?
I hate the Bruins, and that made me sad. So.
But the problem is you can respect guys like Bergeron, Krejci,
even Marchand to an extent.
Marchand, I mean, what those guys did, Chara, like all those guys, what they did for Boston, I can't. I was there for one of David Ortiz's last games. The Yankees were in town. I gave the guy respect. And I'm wearing my Yankee stuff, and it was his final at bat, one of his final at bats. I got up and stood, and the people looked around me, and they're like, "What are you doing? You're a Yankee fan." I'm like, "Dude, respect him, man. This dude, you respected Mariano Rivera for how many years? You would do that, for Jeter and all those. You respect great players." I went to them as I just respect Papi. As much as as much as I dislike the guy. And every time he came up, I want him to strike out and not hit a home. I'm like, this dude is just good. I'm like, this dude's good. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
And it was funny. After the game, saw the same people were downtown, and they're like, dude, we give you props for being an ultimate true fan. I'm like, that's what I am. I don't just I get it. I understand what sports is. You may root for teams. You may root for your players, your guys, but when you see greatness, you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny, you're right. You say that, and I'm kind of like one of these guys. After they retire, I kind of you miss certain players. We mentioned Chara. I remember Chara when he played for the Islanders. When he, obviously I definitely remember when he was with the Bruins. But I remember in the Winter Classic last year when they had him and Bobby Orr out there, and I'm just kind of looking at it. I'm like, you know what? I kind of miss this. Like now that he's done and retired, like I kind of like have more respect for the guy. But yeah, I mean,
Bruins are going to be a different team next year. Face facts right now, your starting centers up the middle are Pavel Zacha and Charlie Coyle. It's a lot
right.
different than Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci.
Yeah,
Not to mention Taylor Hall's
to
not
say the
there
least.
either.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, Taylor Hall's not there either anymore. So, but all right. So I want to. So John and I were texting a little bit back and forth today, Jim, about this Alex Galchenyuk. He's waived by the Coyotes, and I didn't actually. I just read the story here about a couple hours before we came on air about him getting arrested. I'm sure you got some inside. What the hell happened there? I mean, obviously, I saw Scottsdale Police Department has confirmed to The Athletic that Alex Galchenyuk was arrested on July 9th on a number of charges, included private property, hit and run, disorderly conduct, failure to obey, resisting arrest, threatening or intimidating. So, I may have left some out in there.
I mean, that's as far as I know. I just saw the report. It looks that's a lot of bad. And it didn't even happen in New Mexico. It happened in Arizona. So there's no Breaking Bad or Better Calls. I mean, if you can get Saul on the phone, I'd do it. But I don't know where he is. I don't know where Saul is. I think he's in jail somewhere. So if you could get Saul Goodman on the phone, he's not available. So I think look, that's just a bet. All kidding aside with the jokes, if people watch Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, it's two great shows. But all kidding aside, that's not a good situation. And the PA is going to look into it to see what happened, and they're probably going to be okay with the terminating of the contract.
Yeah.
Because of the situation. Now, there's probably going to be. They may not do it right away. There's probably going to be a full-on investigation into what happened.
Yeah.
And let the chips fall where they may. And I'm not gonna make any assumptions about what happened. Was he drunk? Was this and that and the other thing? Yeah. I'm gonna wait till the report comes out and I'll go from there. This is just a tough situation for a kid who had so much potential coming in the NHL, and he's bounced around and he just could never find a home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 12 days after this 1-year deal that he signed that they waived him. And we didn't I don't know, it was kind of like you read more into it and you're like, oh geez, okay, that's why they waived him. Okay. Now it's coming all together now.
The only thing I read extra was there was no personal, it was property damage, which thankfully for him,
luckily didn't kill nobody, which is
right.
So
thankfully.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if it's property damage, okay, you can rebuild things. Okay, you can't rebuild a human life. So, thankfully, that part is the okay part, but the rest is still bad.
Wild, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just wow, And he's a Wisconsin native. Well, I didn't know that about him. So, geez. But
I think his dad. I think he was born in Wisconsin. Like his dad was there, and that's where he was born. Like you see the name, like when he played for the World Junior team that one year, I was like, Alex Galchenyuk. I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. I'm like, all right, his dad came over. Okay, it makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
He had so much potential on that team. I think he was on the 2013 team with like Goudreau and all those guys. That team was so dirty.
Well, he was good when he played AHL for the Colorado Eagles.
Yeah, he was good there. He was good in Montreal's first couple of seasons too.
Yeah. Well, that was with the Max Domi. That's how he got right. That's how they acquired him, through the Max Domi. Right? Wasn't that?
I thought they drafted him.
Oh, okay. Maybe you might be right on that.
I thought they drafted Galchenyuk.
Okay. I thought he was in the.
My mind might be going though.
I thought so.
I thought he was.
He might have been in that Domi trade.
Yeah, because it sent Max Domi to the Canadians. I thought, maybe I'm wrong.
All right, let's see. Where did he get drafted? No, he originally got. All right, let's see this. So, all right. He got drafted by the Canadiens in 2012,
Okay.
third overall. He signed his contract, his ELC. He played with Sarnia during the lockout. He was there, but he was sent to Arizona. That brought Domi to Montreal in 2018.
To Montreal. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, but yeah, just I don't know. Just a little bit of a weird. I mean, hey, you don't see a lot of NHL players getting in trouble. I mean, that they're usually fairly docile off ice, right? So,
Yes, they are. Usually, they are pretty docile.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, who knows? There might be more to that than what is actually being reported. Go figure, right? I mean, that
we
never
don't
happened,
know.
right?
We don't know.
Yeah, but now, John, I know you had some trade rumor thing you wanted to.
Oh no, I think I spread it already. That Nylander thing with Pesci and Natchez. I just brought it up because they were talking about it again, and I swear I've heard it for 3 years. I mean, every time Nylander's name comes up, Brett Pesci is right behind him. And then of course we're going to have some to Calgary. That's going to be another one I'm curious to see. I don't once again on him. He's going to go. There's no way he stays in Toronto. I'm going to say that I can't believe he'll be in Toronto unless it's my what I say. 5 years, 8. Give him his 88s, and he can stay for 5 more years. And I think he'll be happy to see that. He wants to see that Matthews takes a haircut. He doesn't want to see Matthews get all the money. If he does, he wants it all himself. I think it was actually said that Nylander is waiting to see what Matthews does.
And I think Matthews is waiting to see what Nylander does.
What the hell, man?
Yeah,
These guys.
Yeah. Like
look, they have to Trey Living has to prioritize getting Austin Matthews done.
Yes.
You cannot have this linger into the opening weeks of training camp because that's the only question that's going to be asked about the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's going to be Austin Matthews, why he doesn't have a contract extension, all this stuff. And God forbid it lingers to the All-Star game.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Oh, my
right?
God. Yeah.
Right? Because that's the only question the Toronto media is going to be asking about Austin Matthews when he's there, when the players are there. It's going to be asked about his contract. You have to get this resolved now.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to make it a priority, and I think they will. I think Matthews is going to put pen to paper before Nylander does. I think so.
I think so, too. I think he's going to go over. I'll state it. I'll be on the record. Put it on the record, clip it, whatever. He will get more than Nathan McKinnon. If it's by $200,000, he's getting more than McKinnon. He's going to be the highest paid player in the NHL. Period. Discussion's closed.
Agreed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
what about? I got a question. Hellebuck. Are we hearing anything else, Jim? Anywhere on him?
I think it's a waiting game. Again, it's the extension. What are we doing? What are we gonna get? Who's gonna go?
God,
again.
One team, man, the Devils. That's where I want to see them.
The Devils have options. Here's the thing with the Devils, right? You can get Gibson, you can get Saros, you can get Hellebuck. I think Hellebuck puts them over. They really want Schmid to develop, but again, if they're gonna put him down there, you got to get a goalie in there, and if you gotta get Hellebuck in there. But the problem is Vanacek's gonna be the guy going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Demko available still?
I don't know if Vancouver really wants to trade Demko at this point.
I wouldn't think. Okay.
I don't think they're going to trade him. To me, I don't understand why the rumors about Carter Hart are out there. I mean, look, if he can trade for Carter Hart, great. But I think he needs to stay in Philadelphia right now. As far as again, Hellebuck, you can wait on it a little bit, I guess. But the thing is, again, I think you need to get it done before training camp because if he comes back in, they're going to be talking about it, and it's going to become a distraction for the Winnipeg Jets. So I think, Kevin, the issue is the extension, similar to what we saw with DeBrincat. What is he going to get? How much is he going to get? What's the term?
Yeah.
Because the Devils are going to play hardball. They're not going to give him 9.
Right. Well, I don't know, Jim. What do you think? I mean, you're obviously a Devils fan. What did you think? I mean, I thought their goaltending situation was, manageable. last year, if you will, but I think they had some cracks in the playoffs, no doubt. And I think Hellebuck on that roster would vast. I mean, they rapidly. I mean, let's face it, your Devils rapidly kind of, became contenders, right?
Well,
But,
I mean, look, let's be honest here. It took some years. There were some lean years. Fitzgerald's done the drafting and developing and getting the right players and making good hockey trades and picking off guys from teams that are up against the cap, and i.e. John Marino from Pittsburgh, a Siegenthaler from Washington, guys like that are steady, rock solid defensemen. Their defense is better.
Right. Oh,
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you have a young core of forwards and you have an underrated defense, I think, with them.
I think if they get Connor Hellebuck or a goalie like that, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. They're better than Carolina. To be honest, I think they are better than Carolina because of what they have. And you have now you have 8 more years of Timo Meier. You have 8 more years of Jesper Bratt, Jack Hughes, like Toffoli's there, like Palat's there, Halla's back. Like they have a nice young nucleus. Not to mention Nolan Foot's probably gonna be on this team next year. Like they have good pieces. Luke Hughes on the back end. Nemec. This team is taking steps the right way. Their goaltending got exposed against Carolina. Their defense got exposed. Yeah. They weren't ready for the moment. Schmidt did all his best he could. Vanacek just, again, if you believe in it, great. They need a starting goaltender.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Well, plain and simple. I don't care what the Vegas model is, the Colorado model, all this stuff. Vegas had a great defense, and they got the timely save from Aiden Hill. The Devils, their defense it's better than it's been. It's a lot better than it's been. If they have a Connor Hellebuck, forget it.
Yeah. Well, you talked about Schmidt. I mean, to me, he salvaged that first round against New York.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he did.
He's the reason they got out of he's the reason they got out of the first round. Look, again, everybody, we could talk about this till we're blue in the face. I've talked about my friends who are Rangers fans who covered it. Rangers scoring Game 3 in overtime, series is done. We're not even talking about it. And we're still talking about the Devils needing a goaltender.
Yeah.
But they did as best they could against Carolina. They just couldn't get, Vanacek. I don't know. They just need a goaltender. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They just need a goaltender. They just need a goaltender. To me, that's what they need. Their defense is improved. I like Colin Miller. I like what they have on the back end. Hughes, Hamilton, I love it. Up front is good. I think if you get a starting goaltender, because we've seen it, Vasilevsky, if you have a Vasilevsky, he can take you so far. Like he can. As much as Colorado won in spite of Kemper, not because of Kemper. Vegas definitely won this year because of Aiden Hill. He made so many unbelievable highlight reel saves, and that's the reason he got paid. The team like the Devils need a goaltender. If they can get one, sky's the limit.
Yep.
Well, here, let me throw this out to you guys. What do you think about Hellebuck to the Kings? I mean, when you look at it, the Kings last year, they didn't have the greatest goaltending situation. You had Quick, you had Peterson. That was their season opening duo, right? And then, Copley come up and, and then you have that trade for Korpisalo, and he kind of held the fort down for a while there, but,
he didn't give him a save. Game 4. John and I have talked about Game 4 against the Oilers. You're up 3-0, 4-0. You got to win that game. I've talked to Darryl Evans at the draft about this. Yeah, you could point to Korpisalo making a save, but the Kings had a breakaway late that would have won the game and put them up 2. And Jack Campbell makes a save. I still don't understand why the Oilers. I still don't understand why Edmonton didn't go to Jack Campbell in Game 5 against Vegas. I still don't get it. Still don't get it.
I know.
And they should have definitely gone to him in Game 6 because they had nothing to lose. You were going to go home either way. I think Hellebuck to the Kings would have worked. I think they're set with Talbot now and Copley.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Well, I mean, Copley's not bad. I mean, he come up halfway, they're from the minors, but I don't know.
Yeah, the Kings are
Copley was good. Copley was good in Washington, though.
I mean, the Kings are ready to win. I mean, down the middle, they're pretty strong. I mean, that's a good one. I mean, that's as good a shot as any. It just, God, New Jersey just feels like
New Jersey just feels like the place, right?
It feels like it to me. I mean, as much as it's going to kill me because they're going to, they're obviously going to be better than Toronto, and they're going to be better than anyone in that conference. They just will. They get Hellebuyck.
They'll be better than any team in that division.
Well,
yeah,
and I think we've seen in recent years that the Kings aren't afraid to make a splash in the offseason, right? We got
they got Dubois this year.
Nice.
They re-signed Kopitar for 2 more years. I think that was their big move, and I think they have Talbot, and I think they expect Talbot to be their guy this year. And down the middle, they're set. They got to win the division. They have to finish first.
Yeah.
And they have to find a way to beat Edmonton if you're not finishing first. You have to find a way to beat Edmonton to get out into the second because they can't lose in the first round anymore. They have to advance further with this team.
Yeah. I mean, you might need some creativity, but I tell you what, they add Hellebuyck, they may very well be the best team in the Western Conference. Just saying.
Sure.
I think the 3 best teams in the Western Conference reside in the Pacific Division, and it's the Vegas Golden Knights, it's the LA Kings, and it's the Edmonton Oilers. Sorry, Colorado fans. I don't think your team's good enough. I don't think they're good enough anymore because they're missing Landeskog. If you gave me a healthy Landeskog and they traded for Johansson, okay, we're talking here. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, and if Edmonton continues to mess around, not playing Jack Campbell, then someone should pay for that. And I mean, I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know who would pay the price, but think about.
I would think Ken Holland should pay the price for that.
Right. Yeah.
Because they keep. It was just so. It was so bad. I mean, I know me and Jim and we've all talked about it. What happened there was just sick. I don't know why Campbell wouldn't have played. You signed 5 years, $5 million. You took him from Toronto, and you just didn't use him. It made no sense at all.
Yeah.
Okay, another question for Hellebuyck. What do you think about the Kraken? You bring in
that's a pretty.
That didn't really.
That's a solid fit, actually.
Yeah.
If I think about it, that's a really good fit. Again, dude does Winnipeg really want? I mean, look, the Brinket went in the same division, so I really can't, But again, that's a team they're going to be battling for a playoff spot. I don't know if they're going to send one of the best goaltenders in the league to a team that they're continuing to battle with. So.
Yeah. I mean, they brought Grubauer in. That didn't really pan out. I mean, they were ranked 30th in save percentage last season. So,
I mean, I think Grubauer definitely had a better year than he did the year before. Martin Jones kind of helped with that. So, watch out. That Ducard kid's going to be good for Seattle because you watched him in with Coachella Valley.
I did
in the AHL final Calder Cup. He played really well, and that's why he got 2 years. He didn't get a 2-way deal either. So he's going to be the backup next year he's going to be the backup for Seattle next year.
Yeah. But I mean, and they've got what, 18 million in cap space, I think now, right?
And that's a Ron Francis move because remember, the Leafs didn't do that with their goaltenders. They didn't make them the backups. They lost both guys off waivers that 1 year. I think it was Sparks and McElhaney.
Yep.
Ronnie Francis.
Garrett
so
Sparks.
Garrett Sparks. Man, what a character that guy is.
Yeah, he sure was.
What a character.
But yeah, I mean, interesting stuff. I mean, who knows? I mean, I would have liked to see the Penguins try and, pull a trade to get Hellebuyck. I mean, it would definitely been better than freaking signing Jarry to 5 more years. But
I'm surprised they really didn't trade for Gibson. I'm really shocked by that.
Well, he's a hometown boy, and
and they could have made it work. They could have made it work.
Yeah.
Anaheim would have retained money. It's a short-term deal.
Yeah.
It just made too much sense.
It did. It just made way too much sense. And the Kyle Dubas, I mean, I don't know. It seems like he does some things that at times don't make much sense, right, John? I mean, you can.
Well, I think he's very, very good at finding, and he's done it all the time with the Leafs because he did what he did with the contracts. The structure of the team was so top heavy, as we know. He did a good job in the back end. Like sometimes he'd find guys. Yeah. He found. I mean, I still think the Michael Bunting thing was a good sign. Incredibly to get him when he came from Arizona doing nothing, and there's other guys in the back. I mean, Zach Aston Reese played well for them. I mean, he's nothing special, but he knows how to grab.
I mean, he drafts guys good. Like Matthew Nyes is going to be a solid player for that team. Like Nyes is going to be huge. Yeah. Joseph Wall is going to be a good player for them. Like he can draft guys, honestly, and I think that's an area where Pittsburgh needs because during the years with Shiro and before like everybody came in with Rutherford and all those guys. They drafted players, and it was a machine. Like, they come up from Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. They come into the lineup, just play with Crosby, like, Getzel come out of nowhere. He just fits right in. This guy fits right in. It was just a machine. And I think Kyle, here's the thing with Kyle Dubas. He knows what he has with this roster, but he's also planning ahead, and he knows that this team's going to take a dip somewhere, but they're not going to dip too much because he's going to plan for the future. And his drafting and developing is going to get this team ready to stay.
Yeah.
Loves analytics.
You're talking Wilkes-Barre Scranton. I think it was who the hell was it that was telling a story about? You guys remember Ryan Malone that played on the Packers, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love Malone. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, I forget who the hell was telling the story about it, but they said Ryan Malone, his first couple years, he was, all about the nightlife, and he was like, staying out too late. And, he was doing all kinds of, and there was rumors they were going to send him to Wilkes-Barre, and all these rumors are swirling around. And he said, Malone, he just went right up to Mario and was like, I hear like, they're not happy with me. Am I getting sent down? And Mario's like, kid, you ain't going nowhere. But yeah, who the hell was the way they taught? The way I didn't do it justice, but who the hell was it that said that? It might have been Ryan Whitney. I think it was Ryan Whitney that told that story because he was on that team at the time. I think it was Ryan Whitney. But
they had some characters on that team.
They did.
The best to me, the best. I'm sorry, and everybody loves Hard Knocks and all. The best 24/7 is still the first one with Pittsburgh and Washington. Those were the best. Those episodes were the best. Like I would watch those all the time. Those were the best episodes. Like Dupuy's great in it. The stuff on a plane, like the pranks that they pulled, like everything about that 24/7 was awesome.
Yeah. And I always like Marc-Andre Fleury. They would have an interview and he would swear. And who was it that would? He said he would always, when he would swear, he would like grab the microphone. He would like grab the microphone, like it's trapped in the microphone. Like I just swore, but like grab it. It's like it's too late, man. But
one of my favorite things of all time in that is Bruce Boudreau.
Oh yeah, Boudreau.
Oh yeah.
He just drops the F-bomb like I don't know how many times.
There's locker room, there's intermission speeches that he just comes in and it's just quit feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's the best one.
So stuff's not going right. So what?
Yeah. So quit feeling sorry for you. I mean, it's great.
We're gonna tell you, just go YouTube it. You'll find it. Like, just go find it. You'll die laughing. It's hysterical. The best one I remember. Dupuy's coming in. They're getting ready to go on a road trip. Gino's working out. He's like, "Hey Sid, F you, Gino."
yeah. Yeah. Dupuy, that guy he was a great guy. I can remember. Do you remember when he got hit in the mouth?
Yeah.
And he was breaking teeth off and handing him to Chris Stewart, and Chris Stewart was putting him in a Ziploc bag. He's like,
yeah.
Well,
who was it? Lovejoy. When Lovejoy was like, I think he was a rookie.
Ben Lovejoy.
When he got hit in the face with that puck, or he took a stick, whatever, and then they're flying to wherever, and you just see his cheek just puff
Yeah,
right
all
off.
puffed out. Yep.
They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Benny." Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah. They're like, oh, gee, what do you say? You look like the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
So, but well, good stuff, guys. I think we pretty much covered everything, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
covered all the big headlines. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about next week. So,
Absolutely. I mean, hopefully we do have some stuff to talk about. But we could just have fun, go around the table.
yeah.
Definitely.
Sorry we lost Scott. I know he had some connectivity issues there, so I don't know. So, but well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and hope everybody has a good week. I'm gonna be I'll still be in Pittsburgh next week, guys. I don't leave till Friday.
Nice.
So, but enjoying Pittsburgh. Like I said, I had a Permani Brothers sandwich today in a nice tall Iron City, and life was good today. So
Nice. Yeah.
That's good.
yeah. So
Yeah. I wish things were better here in Niagara Falls, but that's for another day.
Go listen to the politics podcast, people. Just do it.
Oh, no.
Then you'll find out about Niagara Falls. Nobody
my
wants
God.
to hear about that here.
No, you don't.
yeah. You waited a long time for him to come out of that courthouse, didn't you?
I sure did. Yes, I was out. It was hot as hell. I chased.
Spoilers on the podcast.
I chased him everywhere. 3 years I chased that guy. Finally saw him in cuffs. It was great.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's small victories, right?
Yeah, very
Yep.
small.
So, all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We had some viewers tonight. If there's something you guys want us to talk about, get in those comments and hit us up, because we'll definitely answer your questions or interact or do whatever we need to do with it. But that's what we're here for. So, but all right, guys. Well, till next time. Have a good night. So.
Peace out.